Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I have yet another Lost Sector guide. And this time it is for K1 Logistics, the 1310 variant, but most of it can be applied to the 1340 as well. As it says, it has barrier and overload champions, so I recommend Scout Rifle and a hand cannon, which is what I used. Once again, Survivor's Epitaph is really useful. The frenzy comes into handy a lot because you're constantly being shot and you're constantly shooting things. So this will almost always be procced plus 15% plus a reload and handling bonus. It just feels nice even in PvE. Polaris Lance. This I was trying to think what could I do that pops solar shield. That's the scout rifle. Oh wait, Polaris Lance. Perfect fifth. Precision hits return ammo to the mag. It's really useful. Landing 4 loads a delayed explosive round for your next shot, and it does a good bit of damage. And I'm pretty sure the fourth shot insta pops barrier champions, so I use that. And then once again, good old guillotine. I'm running Dragon's Shadow just for the convenience. I'm trying to think of this as a how can I do this the easiest way possible kind of run. With Polaris Lance, you don't really have to reload anyway, but if you want to reload quickly, you just dodge, and it gives you bonuses to literally everything, including movement speed for a while. And your dodges are essentially free, even when you don't have a very good mobility stat like I don't. I recommend recovery of 10 for sure, because there are a lot of times where you'll get shot in the boss room and you'll want to heal. I also put on Wrath of Rasputin for Warmind cells because Polaris Lance's explosions, like the Dragonfly shots and the perfect fifth round, can actually make Warmind cells and proc Wrath of Rasputin, and that's all of that that's important. A lot of the mods that I have on are irrelevant, except for this Hammer of the Warmind. If one of your Warmind cells does actually manage to hit an overload, you can stun him and get him out of your way for a minute. But that's not too relevant. That doesn't happen very often, in my opinion. Um, I recommend Avoid Resist because it says double void damage on the card for the Lost Sector, and Sniper Damage Resistance because there are Tracer Shanks and Vandals all over that would love to kill you with their Queenbreaker. So I recommend that. For subclass, I'm running Stasis, surprise, surprise, with the Touch of Winter aspect. What this does is it greatly improves all of your grenades. If you have this unlocked, it helps out. If you don't have it unlocked, to be honest, you could just run Tether. But this is what I used. So, Touch of Winter, your grenades are buffed, right? Duskfield actually doubles in radius. It's actually a 10-meter radius, so it's pretty big. In PvE, the suck is much better than it is in PvP, so it brings all the enemies together and they freeze. This is really helpful against barrier champions because they're stuck in the middle and you can pop them easily. There's also a crystal that you can shatter for more grenade energy. I also ran Hedrons for extra damage bonuses when this was used. Torment, so I get shot, I get more grenades. Um, Whisper of Shards, you break the crystal within that, you get grenade energy, and Whisper of Rhyme. Every time you pick up a stasis shard from the other aspect, Grim Harvest, when you kill a frozen enemy or a slowed enemy, they have these little shards that you can pick up, and these give you an overshield, which is really nice. And also it heals just a little bit. So if you're hurt, it gives you health. If you have full health, it gives you an overshield. So when I start, the first thing I always do is pop the trip. It was aim assist isn't letting me do it. Pop the trip mines. I mean, it's just like a precaution thing. You can forget they're there and just walk back and be like, ugh, because you wasted a life by accident. Then if you take out these marauders, just run to the middle enemies or red bars. So, this 1310 Lost Sector is very trivial if you play it right. If you don't play it right, it'll be the most infuriating thing ever. And I'm saying that from a person who is trying to use. I forgot that Solar Shanks, like I didn't even know Solar Shanks were a thing, for instance, and I got stopped completely in the next room coming up, and I couldn't figure out where to place my exotic slot so that I could have good damage for the entire run, and also get through it effectively. Well, as you see right here, I literally just peg the barrier champion. He can't really do anything. and he's just gonna fall over. I thought he wasn't dead. The way that this works is that Breda, what is this called? Polaris Lance. Every time you get a precision hit, it instant returns that bullet to your mag for free. Like, it doesn't even come out of your reserves. It just adds it to the mag like it was never fired. And so you can sit there and hammer out like 40 rounds straight, 100 rounds straight, in reality. And just tear down whatever you're doing. By the way, there's a helium that's either here, just as an extra little farming resource. It's either there or over here. Ow, I'm busy. There or in that corner every time I've done this. And there are a few more spawns, but I wasn't too worried about that. It's a nice little extra thing to have though. Yeah, so you see these tracer shanks. They are not friendly. They will re-tap you if you're under light. They could 2-tap you. Exploders aren't really that big of a concern, but they still should be taken down regardless of that fact. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is that barrier, because the overload will disappear into that back room that I just looked at over there. See, he disappeared into that back room, so he's out of the game for a little bit. Don't underestimate their grenades, by the way. They can kill you. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. Ow, the overload came back. I don't know why. You just do that usually. Oh, another thing. It seems like Polaris Lance actually also, the explosion counts as anti-barrier rounds as well, which is really nice. Okay, so the way I approach this guy, because he's pretty deadly, if this drag is still alive, you can tap him twice to proc the overload round beforehand, before you come in, so that you can just come around the corner safely and pop him, right? And then, of course, kill him with the sword quickly. And now there are some wretches, just trash mobs, and another overload spawns right here. See? Right there. Just deal with the trash mobs until he pushes forward, and then down him the same way. And get Whirlwind Blade going up while you're pushing him. Don't worry too much about sword ammo, it's not really a concern. There are too few ads to really worry about that. Or too few things that you'd actually use it on. Now, if you have to clear the entire boss room, you might use a little bit more, especially for the captain. Captains, there are like 3 of them, I think. I think I'm going to W key him. So, yeah, the way that I either go about that barrier is I either do him the way I did all the other ones, or I kill him with the spin sword instantly. It depends on how adventurous you want to be. If you want to be like totally like don't care, back of the map, like watching a Netflix show while you're doing this. Apparently there's helium here, I didn't know that. Ow. But if you're like watching a Netflix show and not paying attention, which is a totally fair way to farm, not gonna lie, just sit back and kill him with this. It's fun too. I mean, I don't know. It could get boring. I'm not sure. Depends on what kind of a player you are. I'm pretty content with it. It's... Oh, and then also, since this thing has Dragonfly and the perfect 5th round, it spawns Warmind cells just as an added bonus. So the next thing I do is I hit the servitor with my Squall on my Hunter. In reality, stasis is not entirely required, it's just it makes the barriers easy, and does a huge amount of damage in this opening phase to the servitor. And then these shanks are terrifying, just so you know. You want to tear the shanks down to the best of your ability. It takes 1,000 years. Okay, he's dead now. Now, for the firing line of Dregs that will be here every single time, if you stay back in spawn, like I do, you just deal with them quickly. I tend to ignore the captain until he gets annoying, which is in a few seconds. Okay, no, he's leaving. So now I move up here. You can kind of use this as cover, but it's unreliable, so be careful. And then the captain occasionally pushes, sometimes doesn't. I mean, say I, what do you expect? I'm going to be adventurous real quick and show you how I go about killing him. There. So what you just do with spin sword, even though it's not matching shields, you just run up and hit him and kill him. Now that would not work, by the way, in a 1340. You would likely fall over instantly for daring to challenge an enemy. Okay, so I'm going to do this for a little bit extra damage. Whisper of Hedron's procs, and then every ad that gets tagged by either the crystal explosion or etc. Ow. But the crystal explosion will clear whatever ads are unlucky enough to be frozen in the dust field, and it gives you buff to the Whisper of Hedron's buff. So you just continue to shoot him with your Polaris until he moves, which will be in a second. Once you pop the phase, he will teleport to the right side, in which I recommend just rinse and repeating, shooting him until he falls over. And now that you've killed him, there are no more champions. You have options. You can either just W key the chest like I'm about to do here, or you can kill everything else, which I would recommend spamming stasis for because it's not very safe. Look, you can kind of just sit there and pop everything, but as I said, I just ran up to the chest, grabbed it, and you see it dropped an exotic engram. So earlier I said fill your engram slots if you're looking for, say, Star Eater scales, and what you can do is take that engram back to the tower, and once you decrypt it, it will drop an exotic you didn't have. So good luck with your RNG, and make sure to subscribe if you stayed through this whole thing, and I'll be sure to keep the guides coming. I really enjoy making them, actually. It's just quite a lot of fun to find these old weapons and put stuff together, and hope to see you around. Peace.